is that? Well, that's the big ass one. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, why is this not working? That's too close. Why is this? Does anybody know? All right. All righty. Let's see is anybody even here yet? Just looking. I'm trying to get my camera set up. Sorry. Hope everybody. Why is this not working out? Is this empty? Yes, it is. I use this for garbage. Garbage. Sorry, guys, just cleaning up the old workbench here. Oh my goodness. Gosh. Surprised there hasn't been a fire yet. What's this? Garbage. More garbage. Really wasn't what I wanted to do today, but clean up garbage. But I guess it has to be done. Ew. No, I'll hang that there for now. What else? That's not really garbage, but I can't leave it there. I don't know where to put it. This can stay here. Come on, don't pop on me. There. Where is this not plugged in? Okay. A little bit of progress. Hey, I think is that Shuggy Nana? I'm sorry, I don't know your new handle. I only know the old one, so have to bear with me with that. But anyway, happy holidays, everybody. I hope you had a good holiday, Shuggy. What's up, buddy?
Hi.
What's up? You good?
Yeah.
All right. While you're here, at least somebody's here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on some updates and other things that are going on. First, I want to give a shout out to Lloyd, who's known as Binky1, and I'm Binky2. Anyway, so with that being said, again, belated happy holidays to everybody. I'm a little late with this. Things have just been crazy. Obviously, just a lot of stuff. Obviously, first Christmas without Dad here kind of sucked. Realizing just how much he was the glue in the family, and just how much he did behind the scenes. We used to, I should say, he used to do. It was tradition. I mean, ever since, gosh, I was uh, um, probably 12 years old, and I'm 52 now. But he always did Christmas breakfast. That was like his thing. And it wasn't just like, hey, here's some eggs and cereal. No. This was, let's see, Pennsylvania Dutch people know about fried potatoes, according to my mom. Maybe everybody else does too. I'm just saying. But he would do fried potatoes. He would do scrambled eggs. He would do, he would get sausage links, make breakfast sausage. He would make bacon. Um, he would make. I used to say my mom did make those the tubes of Pillsbury, the cinnamon rolls. She would make that, of course, burn them because that's just the way she was. But Dad did all this other stuff. On top of, he would put the tree up and decorate the house, and he's the one that would invite everybody. So with him not here, that was a big blow. Uh, so that being said, I did attempt to make breakfast. It was okay. I got a lot. I realized I got big shoes to fill to do what he did. I still can't believe he did it all. I guess the scary part for me was he had made the comment last year. He wasn't sure if he was going to do breakfast next year because it was just getting to be a lot for him. Not realizing that no, he wasn't going to do breakfast ever again after last year. Um, and yeah, uh, that kind of sucked. Yes, I have some drawings for the Do It for Hank. I am going to after the new year, I'm going to get on that as well with some updates on the cars. I'm going to get to that. So yeah, so it did suck this year. Um, Levi and Sadie did have a good Christmas. Um, we got through it. And I hate to say getting through it like Christmas is terrible because it's not. There's absolutely nothing about terrible about celebrating Jesus' birth. Uh, there's nothing terrible about that. It's just what the terrible part is having people not around anymore. But um, I think he still is, and I'm going to tell this story. And maybe people think I'm nuts. I really don't care. But 2 Christmases ago, um, uh, it's not out here, but Dad had bought Levi this RC car. It was the Cadillac RC car. It was a Cadillac of the Cadillac that ran in the 24 hours of Le Mans. And this thing ripped. I mean, it was quick. It was all-wheel drive. The thing ripped. It was a really good RC car. He must have spent a good penny on that. And he was all concerned whether Levi would like it or not. Anyway, Levi like loved it. And it's been 2 years ago. He still loves that car. So anyway, let me get to the good part. So we charged it up. We drove it. Still ran fine like it did the day he got it. So we ran the battery down. We took it back to the house. We recharged it. Now in the meantime, it got windy outside and it got dark. So I'm looking at maybe like 6 o'clock here, PA time. And it's dark. So Levi wanted to go out and do the car, and I'm like, really don't want to because it's cold, it's windy, but all right, that's what he wants to do. That's what we'll do. So we took the car out. We're driving it around up and down the street here, and we got talking about just how amazing how that pop had bought him that, and that it still works great, still runs great, la da 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 da. And I even said, yeah, I mean, Papa really did a great job buying you this RC car. That was a really good buy. And despite the wind and everything, for about 2 or 3 seconds, I smelled the cologne that my dad would wear when he went to church. So that was cool. I just acknowledged that he was there and thanked him again for everything and for stopping by, if you will. And he would, if he could stop in some more. So I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe it's a real deal. But I thanked him again for getting the car for Levi. I thanked him for just everything, you know, um, mostly for stopping by. It was really what I needed um, that day. I'm hoping he stops by some more, and I'm sure he will, as uh, move on to what's going on next. So that made Christmas special. That 2 seconds of him being here, and maybe he was here longer, but that's the 2 seconds that I felt and could, through my senses, feel he was here. Um, so I feel like I really don't want to do this next part, but I guess I should. I have a health update, so that's why I haven't been putting stuff out. I was in the emergency room last weekend. Um, some more, um, how should I say, like blood pressure related stuff. Um, there's good news and there's bad news. So anyway, I went to my doctor. My were extremely swollen, yada yada yada. The doctor says you got to go to ER like right away. So which I did. I didn't want to. I mean, come on, it's 6 o'clock at night. The last thing I want to do is go to the freaking ER, especially when it's cold out. But I went. Um, so they got me in there. They did an EKG, took a bunch of blood, um, something else. I can't think now what it was. They ran like three tests. I can't think what the third one was. So anyway, so they get me back into a room. I'm laying there. So talk with the doctor. So I'm kind of the 6 hours there for 6 hours. So basically, they did. Oh yeah, they did ultrasound on my heart. So the good news is that my heart is extremely good shape for someone my age. Considering my family history with heart disease and everything, and heart attacks, yada yada yada, there are no spots on my heart that would indicate heart disease or anything wrong with the heart. They said the heart looks great, it's strong, blah blah blah. They also checked for blood clots, which there was no signs of any kind of a blood clot. However, and I don't know what the medical term is, but uh, it's basically in layman's terms, it's degenerative blood vessels. And so I have to obviously modify my diet. And I'm working with my other doctor who's a naturalist. He does have me on cod liver oil and flaxseed oil, and basically, he wants me every to put a pinch of pink Himalayan salt in water and have that twice a day. Uh, he said, "I want you to get rid of table salt, but I want you to use Himalayan salt because that helps keep the salt and the water in your body, the pH, if you will, helps keep it where it should be." And I have to cut out, not completely, but I have to cut way back on my the sweets, junk food stuff. So that's kind of hard for me, but that's what I'm trying to do. So that's a little bit of a thing. I do feel better. They did give me a Lasix, which is basically a water pill, so my legs are better. I'm not in so much pain, but I have to monitor that stuff moving forward. So, and I think after the new year, he does recommend I get on some sort of exercise program. In other words, get my fat ass back in the gym. So that's going to be something I got to figure out how to schedule in my day. So that will be after the new year. So I mean, good news is my heart's good. It's strong. It's no problems with the heart. The bad news is the blood vessels, which I guess given the two, I'd rather have the blood vessels than the heart. So basically, it's kind of like and with an engine, it's like you have a really good oil pump, but you have your the oil galleries are kind of gunked up. So that's kind of what it is, if you will. Anyway, so moving forward, um, the Camaro, basically, we have an issue. The other day, I tried firing it up. Having an issue somehow. The file that's in the ECU is either not there, or I'm having a communication issue between my laptop and the ECU. I'm thinking it's the USB ports on my laptop aren't right. So I'm going to go down today. I'm going to try seeing if I can hook up my laptop with a different USB port and see if something shows up. If not, I got to try and see if I can come up with a program to load in there. If not, I got to get a hold of Nate again. So we're going to see what that is. The So that's where that's at. If we can get that figured out, and hopefully everything checks out, the Camaro is still pretty much ready to go. The Buick is basically, we got the front end stripped down, the grill's out of it, the emblem's off the top. We got it sanded. Wet sanded was 600. I got to finish stripping the striping off of the right side, which is passenger side of the car, and then I want to smooth everything out. And then once that's done, it's the whole thing. It's just waiting for the weather to get warm enough to mask everything up, primer, wet sand, and then paint it. Paint the header panel, which is just the front piece. The rest will still be original paint, except for the header panel. So that'll be repainted and cleared. That way we're doing that. I don't know if anybody saw my last live, but I had mentioned about with IHRA buying Maple Grove, which NHRA pulled all their events out of there. So I'm looking at the difference between the two, between like safety requirements to pass tech inspection, other stuff. So a project we're going to do once the weather gets warm, we need to put a safety loop around the drive shaft on the Buick, so that way it's all safe and legal. So we're going to see, I'm going to get with Lloyd, and we're going to probably do that. That may be a video as well when we do that. I also have to, check with, I want to give it Tom Goldman as far as, do I need the weld plates on either side of the floorboard to make it strong enough so that way it holds? So that way, if God forbid the drive shaft does let loose, it doesn't rip the drive shaft out of the floor pan. So I got to look into possibly welding that on the car, getting some reinforcement or making reinforcement plates to put that loop on. The other thing is finally got tire size for the rear that will fit on the car. It's not as big as I was hoping for, but it's better than running a regular street tire and trying to get that to hook at the track, and they won't. So, but I did order the stock size front tires for it, so that way it has the correct size tires on the front. So those should be here as soon as they ship it. They'll be sending me a notification and a look forward to getting that swapped out to have fresh rubber on the front. Once we get to that point, then we'll figure out when to order the rear slicks. Also, I need to figure out, I want to put something on the rear suspension to control wheel hop, because I'm anticipating that when we put the cheater slicks on and we start making some boost with the car. So I'm trying to get ahead of the car a little bit. So those are just the two things we're thinking of doing. We are not going to put aftermarket wheels on like I was thinking. We're going to leave the stock wheels on it to add to the whole all original aesthetics of the car. I think it would just make the car that much of a conversation piece to have the stock wheels on it and original paint, yada, yada, yada. So that's kind of like where we're at with that. But yes, everything's kind of slow and kind of held up because of the weather. It's cold and really don't feel like being out in the garage when it's this cold. But I am going to work on possibly checking out that program on the Camaro to make sure that's in there. I also I have to check the actual unit itself. I have to make sure, I think there's like 7 or 8 LEDs that are supposed to light up. So I want to check that out as well with key on. And then just to make, I don't think there should be anything wrong with the ECU because everything's all fused. But I want to doubly make sure that everything's good with the ECU. And then once that's good, then it's just a matter of reestablishing communication with the laptop and the ECU to make sure the parameters are still there. So that's where that's at. Trying to think if there's anything else. Just let's see. The Corvette is still here. It's in the trailer. So for the first time in a long time, it is not sitting outside. It is sitting nice inside an enclosed trailer. So it's not exposed to the elements. So I've been taking advantage of nice days and just cleaning it, polishing it, waxing it, doing whatever. However, the wing, apparently Amazon people don't put a lot of paint on the wing, because I went to clean up the wing and get rid of some overspray, and now the fibers of the fiberglass you can see through the paint. So the wing will need to be removed and repainted. So that will be also a painting project after we do the Buick. We're going to paint the wing, and then also be able to get the vet out and have a little fun with that as well. Trying to think anything else. I guess basically once we get hopefully once we get the Camaro sorted out with this program issue, then we're going to sit down and we're going to figure out what days we're going to see. Although it might be a little early. Let's see, because it's not. Yeah, the schedules usually don't come out to February. So I think what we're going to do is then once the Camaro is ready, we're just going to wait till February, when everybody drops their schedules for the year, and then see what tracks we're going to and when and what events we're going to run. I also, like I said, I still got to get the Do It for Hank decals made up. I think we're going to add years to the bottom, 1943 to 2025. I think we're going to add that to the bottom of the decal as well. We're going to do that. Trying to think what else. Like I said, unfortunately, there's not a lot going on with it being cold, really not out in the garage. I think that's it for that. So, yeah, just basically been house shopping online. Haven't even wanted to go look at any houses yet, so that way we can have an actual shop instead of being in here in this. But it just has a better signal here than going down to the other. I've been having a lot of issues down where the cars are with getting my videos out and recording and doing other stuff. So that's why we're back to doing them here. So it's not ideal, but at least it's a better connection. So, yeah. So I just wanted to get on here. I realize I'm a little late with the Christmas, but just want to get on here and check in with everybody and wish everybody hey, maybe I'm actually a little ahead because I'm actually for New Year. So, hey, everybody have a prosperous New Year. So let's just hope 26 is better than 25 was, because, man, has been a lot of shit happening this year. So I'm hoping things get better. Hopefully we can get out, do some more, not so much wrenching, maybe more racing this year. So we'll see what happens with that. And go from there. So thank you. I appreciate that, Shuggy. It was a tough day. I'm not gonna lie. Without him here, it was a tough day. It's not that I didn't appreciate my dad, but it's one of those where, and I didn't want it to be that person where you don't know um, what you got till it's gone. I was trying to enjoy when he was here, but now I realize even more what he did. Um, there, there was some very like, uh, but my, and I think I said this before. Shortly after Dad had passed, that eventually one day it was going to hit me, and the trigger did hit me. It finally came about. We were at a went to Christmas Eve service. Me, the wife, the kids. Went to a church here that's local, and they had like a light thing, like Christmas lights in the sanctuary, and it had like the music going, like different music, and then the lights go, you know what it is. So there's a plow truck coming. Yep. And so I was good. And then how many people know this song? I like to teach the world to sing in perfect. That came on. That was big in the 70s. If anybody remembers back then, Coca Cola, that was a big promotion campaign they had in the 70s. Because I remember as a kid hearing that song, and then you didn't hear it anymore. So, anyway, and somebody did a remake, and I wish I knew who did a remake. I don't know how recent, but they did a remake. But it's basically the same arrangement, same everything, cadence and all that, just somebody younger singing. So that had come on with the light show, and yeah, yeah, I was done because I could totally see my dad saying that. That's the way he was. He was the in between guy, the peacemaker, um, yet humble. Um, yeah, he was all that. And I don't like to say what I'm going to say, but the uh, I wish there was like 500,000 more people like my dad. I think the world would be better, honestly. And I don't mean that to be an asshole. I don't mean that to be rude, but we need more. I just think the world could use a lot more of that kind of a spirit uh, in around. Uh, Perhaps society wouldn't be as, pardon my French, as fucked up as it is, but it is what it is. Um, I mean, everybody's so hard. I mean, what was the other day? I was out driving. I got flipped off twice. I'm like, what the heck? You know, it's just everybody's so trying to live hard and gangster and whatever. And it's like, dude, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is what kind of person are you, and are you doing what you can to make this world, to make every the a better place? What legacy are you leaving for your kids? And I think people don't realize that. And uh, everybody's just living for the here and the now, and nobody gives a shit about, you know, anybody but themselves. And I've been see I don't know if it's because I'm older and grumpier, or if my eyes are just because he's gone. If my eyes are just more open to it, but uh, you just see more and more where people just don't give an f. They don't. You know, everybody wants to live this gangster YouTube facade life, and that's not how real life is. I mean, YouTube's great for some things. It really is. It's a good platform, but sometimes it's you get these people, and all they want to do is, you know, everybody talks this smack mouth, smart ass, whatever thing, you know. You know, I use the term a keyboard warrior. Everybody, um, no, and that's something I remember as younger too. People used to talk all the time about, hey, are you when you are you doing your part to make this world a better place? Is this going to be something you want to leave for your kids? And I don't think, and nobody talks about that anymore. Nobody even thinks in that realm, and that's why we have what we have going on. You have people shooting each other over the dumbest stuff. There's no value of life. I mean, you have somebody who, you know, cuts you off in traffic, you blow their brains out, you jump out of your car and unload a clip of bullets into somebody's head because they cut you off, or they didn't use their turn signal. um it a lot of things just, it's senseless to me and it's useless. Unfortunately, I try my best not to let it affect me, but there's times I think about it, I get so angry and so mad that it's like, how do we come to this? But we have, and unfortunately, I think a lot of it is with stuff with internet. We become desensitized to stuff because we see all the shock factor on YouTube, and it just really. I mean, there's people that just live for it. They live for the YouTube. They don't know how to be in the real world. They just live in this whole YouTube and content and all this other stuff. You got people that are staging situations, staging fights, staging arguments, staging all this shock factor for the sake of content. And what are we doing? How is that affecting us, society as a whole? I just don't know. Um, and I don't know what to do with it. What is my response to it? What can I do with it? Um, I get frustrated all the time. I'm trying to, you know, when I'm able to, I try to get content on this channel to show, to teach. Maybe there's some entertainment factor to it, but usually it's how to do something, or you can see, hey, this is how I paint a car, or this is how you fix this, or how this is how you do something else. And I've been doing this game for almost 10 years. I can't get monetized to save my ass. Yet, you know, you have other creators, like for instance, there's another creator. She wears a bikini with half her, forget my friend has her tits hanging out while she's fishing. She's been a creator for what, 6 months and has like 100,000 subscribers. So it's like, don't give me this shit that, everything is fair, that there's no sexism, because there is. Because if that's the case, my channel, I should be raking in money. I'm not getting anything. So, all because of the kind of content I put out there. I don't think that stuff should be out there. I think, YouTube has an entertainment factor, but I think it's one of those that should also be, what are you taking away from the video? What are you getting? Does the video offer something educational? Does it offer something? What does the video do to help make things better? You know what I mean? And I think, unfortunately, a lot of the new creators, that's not there. It's just a matter of the shock factor. Get the reaction. Get somebody to push the like button, the subscribe button. And I'm not saying it's not important, because it is, but it's because your channel isn't monetized, they think you suck, and then you tell people, hey, I've been doing this for almost 10 years and you're still not monetized. Like, man, you really should get out of the game. You don't know shit. Blah blah blah. It's like, hey, I have those thoughts already. Like, why am I doing this? Should I continue doing this? Because I'm getting nothing. I'm actually wasting my time, because I'm not getting anything for it. But I just think it should be. It's something I enjoy, and it's showing people how to do stuff. My whole intent of this channel was to get people to get up off your ass, get out in the garage, and go do something, learn something, do something, instead of watching drag racing, or instead of watching somebody turn wrenches, you go do it. You be the inspiration for somebody else, and I think, unfortunately, somewhere along the way, uh, I guess I failed and didn't get it done. But it is what it is. Um, so I guess moving forward, I'm still going to do what I do, whether that gets me monetized or not. I'm just not as motivated to do it. To be perfectly honest, um, there's other things I want to do. There's other things, my health is now becoming an issue with some stuff. So I'm watching out for that for now. I mean, I guess I'm going to be a little selfish, because I'm gonna, I got to take time for me now, which I didn't do before. Um, and if that's going to piss people off, so be it. You know. Um, but in one way, shape, or form, Big E's is going to be here. I'm not sure what role. Um, just not right now, because it's cold. So the uh, and just a lot of other stuff going on with the holidays and stuff. But um, yeah, I'm going to, after the new year, the ball's going to start rolling. I'm hoping today to get the Camaro going. If I can, I might do another live and just show that. And Shuggy, I gotta tell you too, since you're on here, I gotta finish my wiring, cleaning up my wiring, so I can show you my wiring when it's done. I know, and I don't mean that to be a smartass to you. I just thought that was just, I was like, man, I saw the wiring and like the first, I mean, you know, the first video I showed when it was hanging out of the trailer, I was just like, oh man, this is ugly under here. I send you, and then you're like, oh look, I forget what you said, but I was just like, oh wow, I guess it is that bad if people can see it on camera. But the good part that came out of it was the challenge that you put up there. And you didn't even know it because you didn't even set it as a challenge. I took it as a challenge to, hey, if you're going to do videos and you're going to do this ECU and you're going to do this race car thing and you're going to do all this work to this car, you better do it right and make it look quality and make it the way it should be. Do it right, in other words, because if you can't find time to do it right the first time, when are you going to find time to do it right the second time? And that I heard from my shop teacher in high school, Mr. Kammer, God rest his soul. Um, so yeah, so for you to say that that challenged me, it just makes it now that I want to do a better job and make it nice and make it look professional and challenge myself to become better. So, and that's how I kind of take this stuff. Yeah, I I'm working on myself to not take stuff so defensively or as an insult, but trying to see things as a challenge to make myself better. So, I also too with my painting, I had someone tell me one time I had my gun wrong. It looked like I painted over sandpaper, and someone called me out on it. So that's why I really struggled, and I really put the time in to teach myself how to paint. So I'm not saying I'm the greatest by no stretch of the imagination, but I think I can lay down a decent paint job, um, as long as I stay focused. And if I'm drunk, I don't know why. That's like an inside joke anyway. It's uh, I painted I painted the doors on a Corvette. One I painted sober, one I painted drunk. And the one I sprayed drunk looked beautiful. The other one didn't look as nice. So it's an inside joke. Anyway, we'll see. But um I know. I know you wouldn't show it, and I don't want you to be upset and don't feel bad, whatever. No, it's great. It was great motivation. It was a great challenge. I need that sometimes. Is the challenge to not just sit back and be okay with mediocre. You know, keep striving to be better, and that's what I took it as. And I appreciate that, and that's what I need sometimes is someone to challenge me, uh, not to feel like I arrived, because when you feel like you arrived, that's when you do stupid shit. So, the motivation, yeah, hell yeah. Thanks, Shuggy. I needed that. And I am, um, when it's done, I think what I'm going to do before we take the Camaro to the track, obviously, I'm going to pull it out, wash it, yada, yada, yada. And then I may, I'm not sure if I'll do a live or do a regular video. I don't know yet. Maybe you can help me decide. I want to do where I go over the car, what we did over the winter once it's cleaned up. You know what I mean? Go over the alternator deal, the wiring, the Holly ECU, the suspension work, the grounding, the way everything, the new dash, which I'm having an issue with that, which I'll get into some other time. But all this stuff that's been added to the car, I might do an overview video before we actually take it to the track. So I may do that. I also might do one with the Buick as well. So we'll see how that all pans out. So yeah. Um, but anyway, um, I want to take this opportunity, especially you, Shuggy. God, you're here all the time. That's great. I appreciate the support. Um, I wish more people would tune in, but you actually motivate me to keep doing these and to keep going. Um, but Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh gosh. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I'm gonna keep trying to make it better. Um, we're I think uh, I really think this coming year we're gonna have. I've never had a car this ready for the track this soon. So usually around August I start getting moving on a Camaro. So that's my own fault. So actually to have it this close, this early is a good sign. So like I said, we're gonna wait for the schedules to come out. We're gonna decide where we're gonna go, whether we're gonna, and we might run both IHRA and NHRA. We may do both, just because obviously Maple Grove's gonna be IHRA now. Island Dragway still within an hour travel time, so that's still NHRA. So we may go over there to time. We'll see. We have to see how things pan out. So and then plus the two having two cars that we could run either way. So we look forward to that. Um, yeah. So what's up, buddy? You good?
Yeah, but I don't know how long the guitar would take to charge.
I have to go look then.
Okay.
All right. I'm just wrapping up, buddy. Okay, I'll be there. So anyway, I'm gonna sign out here, guys. Go see what get down there to my mom's place and get the laptop hooked up and see where I'm up against. I'm hoping I can fix it. Hopefully, I don't have to get Nate. I don't want to bug Nate to have him come back out and set the car up, but I may have to. We'll see. But all right, I'm gonna boogie out of here, and I may do another live if I get it figured out. so so all right. So till next time, watch out for each other. Take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's. And don't forget, do it for Hank. We'll see you. Bye for now.